Welcome to Jackie Robinson Field, Brookside Park. Davis, Adam Beck, and the Saints and the Riptide meet for the second time in as many hours. Saints lost 14-1 last night out in Irvine, looking to get back in the win column. Losers of their last two. And taking the mound for the Saints is the southpaw, number 37, Spencer Seed.
Yeah, this is a huge game here. You really feel like this is a big moment for the Saints to kind of turn things around. They started the season 3-0, and since then have been under 500, 5-6 in the last 11. Now find themselves in third place in the CCL South, and it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle the rest of the way. So this is a huge one to get back in the win column. You got to get back the right winning mentality. A couple different defensive substitutions today. You got Easton Elliott playing third base. No Crew McChesney in the starting lineup. Definitely an interesting lineup, but the Saints are going to be up against a mountain here, especially on the mound, with Andrew Parker, who's been one of the best pitchers in the CCL.
Leading things off here for the Riptide is Michael Diaz. We see a very similar lineup to last night. Diaz, Hackworth, Brown, Spear. DH tonight was the backstop last night. Brendan Wilkinson will take over the battery, and Jack Hammond in left. Nathan Cadena at first base. Matthew Thomas in right. And Rocco Gump will continue to patrol the 9 spot.
And, I mean, it makes sense. When you score 14 runs in a game and you play the same team, you don't want to mess the mojo up. I mean, clearly it worked yesterday for them. Put up 8 runs in that 8th inning. And, you know, it was a tough outing for the Saints squad. This is just a huge game to get right back into the winning mentality. You just feel like this is a moment in the season where, you know, we're past the front third. We're in the middle 33% of the year now, and it's time to make some moves up the standings.
Cam Conley and Adrian Lopez draw back into this one as that one is swung on and missed for strike 3. So Spencer Seed starts off the top of the first inning with a K.
Yeah, just a really nice off-speed breaking ball right there. He's got great job, even with a little bit of a smaller frame, does a really good job kind of controlling those off-speed stuff. Smaller pitcher, but really does a good job concealing pitches, too. Makes it really difficult on these opposing batters.
So Diaz, who was 3 for 6 last night, starts off tonight with a strikeout. Diaz had a bases-clearing triple, and now Patrick Hackworth up.
Hackworth didn't have a hit yesterday. Did have an RBI and walk 2.
He swings through that one.
Yeah, the off-speed stuff is dirty right now from the Saints starter.
Yeah, Spencer Seed, last appearance, lone appearance, came in the 18-1 win against the Barons. Just one inning of work as that one just upstairs for ball 2. So the count now 2-1. Two-one offering from Seed. That one slapped back towards the pitcher. Seed falls off the mound. Cam Conley unable to corral it. Seed just tripped over. It'll be an infield hit for Patrick Hackworth.
Yeah, just a comedy of errors without an error on that play. Slow chopper right back up the middle. Seed's falling over. Ball's kind of in no man's land, and Hackworth gets on base to start things off here for the Riptide. So 1 out, 1 on. Super dangerous hitter here, Jake Brown, tied for second in the CCL in home runs with 2 of them. I don't think anyone's chasing Presley Kosciuszko, though. He's at 6.
Yeah, Presley Kosciuszko really putting barrel on the ball. And Jake Brown up third. Went 0 for 5 last night with 3 strikeouts. Batting .261 on the season. Still carries a .424 on-base percentage. As Seed looks at the runner on first, fires a first pitch inside and low for ball 1.
And this is Seed's just second appearance with the Saints. Played against the Barons last time out. Only 1 inning he went. 2 hits allowed. 5 batters faced. Had a strikeout in that one.
That one's belted over the glove. Lopez on to second, just gets the tag out. So it'll be a force out for Jake Brown.
Yeah, you like your shortstop to be assertive there, and that time Adrian Lopez was. And for somebody that's really struggled with errors so far this season, that was a nice play. Made that glove right in his glove. And then he's like, do I step on the bag? No, I'll just tag the guy out, tags the guy out, and then two outs like that. So it's a nice play by Adrian Lopez, not trying to overcomplicate the game. Saw him freeze up around there for a second. It's like, nope, just got to apply the tag. Applies that. You normally would like to see him just probably step on the bag, but nonetheless, 2 outs. Doesn't matter how it's done.
Saints pitcher struggled getting the third out last night. Is that first pitch in there for strike one? We'll bring up Matt Spear, who did a lot of damage last night in the game. Was the backstop and a couple hits. That one is in there for strike two.
Yeah, and just his second game of the year, too. I mean, had his first appearance for the Riptide yesterday in that 14-1 win for Orange County. And, big bat, 2 for 4 in that one with 2 ribbies, a walk. There's a reason he's got the DH spot today in the 4 spot. Interesting, both lineups going with their DH in that cleanup spot.
That pitch outside, so the count 2-1. You mentioned Spear just playing in his second game, committed to the University of Michigan for this upcoming fall. As Brown goes, that one just in the dirt, so no throw on the play. Runner advances to second. The count runs even at 2-2.
It's the 33rd stolen base this season for the Riptide. Coming today with 32, ranked 5th in the CCL. And this is a Saints squad that knows all about stealing bases, too. Leads the CCL with 35 coming into tonight. It's very close atop the leaderboard in terms of the stolen bases and aggressiveness on the base paths in this league so far this season.
Spear flings that one into right field. That'll get down. That'll score a run as Jake Brown coming from second to first. And with a stand-up RBI single. Nice battle back from Spear. Was down in the count 0-2, worked it to 2-2, and roped that single into right field.
Yeah, that ball just had a little too much hang time, and Spear's all over that one. Absolutely crushes it towards right field for a single. And, it's going to be able to allow for Brown to come round after stealing the bag. So you just see how that base running, right? It's a simple stolen base, gets to there in second. Now you got a single, and now you've got a run. So just these mental mistakes here from this Saints squad that allow the defense to happen a little too easily.
Someone's in there for strike one. So now we'll bring up the backstop, Brendan Wilkinson. Didn't play in the last game last night. Last played against the Oaks. 0 for his last 14, just batting .214 on the season. His lone RBI coming via a home run, as that one's popped up towards the first base side, but it'll just be out of play.
Maybe expect Ray Bermudez in right field to give that one a little bit more of a charge. A little bit of confusion in that right center field area, or I guess right field area down the line. You had Conley going over, Donnelly going over, Bermudez, all of them kind of looking at each other as like, who's going to get it? But I think Bermudez was in a great spot because he was charging forward. The others were charging kind of backwards, looking over their shoulder. If Bermudez just has a quicker step off the bat there, it's probably an out, and we're probably out of this inning.
Someone just upstairs, so the count now runs to 1-2.
You mentioned that lone RBI for Brendan Wilkinson coming off a solo home run, and that actually was in the first game of the season for the Riptide. Ended up scoring a game-winning solo shot, and it's just a huge way to start things off against the Conejo Oaks all the way back on June 6th.
1-2, that one's fouled back, so the count remains the same. Talked about how the Saints struggled to get the third out. Riptide scored 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 outs.
And it wasn't just yesterday, right? I feel like this has been a trend over the past week and a half of Saints pitchers really struggling to get that third and final out of an inning. And it's kept these innings alive. It's allowed a lot of 2-out magic for opposing teams, and it's why the Saints have been under 500 for the past 11 games this season.
So that one just a little off. So the count goes back to 2-2.
Trying to nibble at the corners there, nibble at the edges. Wonder if he just goes back with the fastball here.
Hammond was 2 for 3 last night with 3 runs scored, as that one is sent into right field. An easy catch for Bermuda. So we head to the bottom of the first inning. The Riptide put up a run courtesy of a Matt Spear RBI single. And due up for the Saints will be Jacob Shark, Cam Conley, and Alex Burge. All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it will score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score two. It's quickly 4-0 at the top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball four, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball four. Fisher stumbling off the mound, and the Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in two. With the Saints as a pass ball gets away, 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And one out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Carrillo did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground rule double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the ninth for the Saints to end things in the ninth inning? What a game for the Saints.
Welcome you to the bottom of the first inning, taking the mound for the Orange County Riptide, the right-hander, number 21, Andrew Parker, who has just been absolutely dominant to start the season. 4 appearances so far, 18 innings pitched, 21 strikeouts to just 3 walks, and a 1.50 ERA.
Yeah, and a sub-1 whip, too. I mean, it's been absolutely electric on the bump for Andrew Parker, and he's been the ace of this Riptide, of this Riptide pitching staff, and especially for a Riptide squad that yesterday didn't have Ace Reese, today doesn't have Ace Reese. This might be the time for the pitching to really show up. Obviously only limited the Saints to just 1 run yesterday, courtesy of the Josh Livingston long ball. But now the Saints have to go against arguably the best pitcher in the league through 3.5 weeks so far into the season.
Yeah, you mentioned Ace Reese got word that he's visiting schools in Texas, UT Austin and Texas A&M. So he's out for this week. And the Saints faced a southpaw last night in Seth Spencer, so get a right-handed pitcher with a lefty-filled lineup. And leading things off, Jacob Shart, who has struggled a little bit over these last couple of games. See the batting average dip to below 400. Obviously, we weren't expecting a sustainable 400 batting average the entire season. Last night went 1 for 5 with 2 strikeouts.
And the impressive thing is even when he's struggling, right? You mentioned last couple games hasn't been up to his par after, the 4 extra base hit game earlier this week, but he's still on a 5-game hit streak, has 2 multi-hit games during that span. He's still slashing .417, .440, .708.
As that one gets through the second baseman, that was Nathan Cadena diving.
And make that a 6-game hit streak for Jacob Sharp.
Apologize, that was Patrick Hackworth.
Coming to the plate for the Saints, second baseman, number 5, Tim Conway.
Nathan Cadena at short. Nonetheless, a leadoff single. We saw hits hard to come by last night in Orange County. Cam Conley up. We're able to talk with him last night from Pepperdine. He's commuting from Pepperdine, so a long trek that was to the Orange County game. As he swings through that one, the count 1-1.
Conley is another guy who's kind of struggled. You feel like he's just picked up a hit here, picked up a hit there, just to kind of keep his rally going, but hasn't been all sunshine and roses for him.
Is that one low for ball 2?
Currently on a 5-game strikeout streak, has multiple strikeouts in 3 of them.
Yeah, the last game came against the Foresters, where he went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. 10 RBIs on the season. Is check back to first, and Saints just trying not to get caught. Got caught twice last night on pickoffs. A nice move from Seth Spencer as well as Jared Glenn. as that one is sent to the shortstop, Nathan Cadena, on to second to Hackworth, on to first, double play.
And, when you get that leadoff hit, it just ends up being fool's gold because Parker absolutely does a fantastic job, rolls a double play ball, and Cadena ready for it at shortstop, throws it on to Hackworth, who flings it on to first base for the double play. We'll do it 6-4-3. It's just too easy. It's just too easy.
Alex Burge up now. We see kind of flip-flopping between Alex Burge and Nick Lazara for the backstop duties. Burge last played in that June 26th game against the Foresters. Went 0 for 2 with a walk and a hit by pitch, as that one's in there for strike one. And talk about 8 games played, a .625 on base percentage, 10 walks to just 3 strikeouts.
And he's reached base in every single one of his games, too.
That one's belted to the right field line, out of play. So the count now 0-2. Wichita State now going to Cal Berkeley.
I'm curious his approach here because we've seen him so disciplined. He doesn't really face any 0-2 counts, but, he's going to have to be aggressive on anything close.
It's the 0-2, that one. Slapped foul again, so the count will remain the same.
And that's also the thing with Andrew Parker. I mean, he's so dominant, especially on the edges. He's going to be able to feast around the plate, and it's going to make hitters that are normally disciplined, guys like Alex Burge here, have to really think about each at-bat, think about each pitch.
So that one just outside. That one will get the count to 1-2. Burge also rocking with a near 1,100 OPS as the 1-2. A little off-speed pitch trying to get that outer part of the top corner, but count runs full. It runs even at 2-2.
And even then, looking at Burge's stats, right, the .368 batting average, the .625 on base percentage, batting on balls in play .467. It's only striking out in 12.5% of his at-bats.
That one is popped up to right field. Matthew Thomas at the warning track, looking up. It's gone! Alex Burge sends one out right over the right field wall. Matthew Thomas attempting to make a play on that, almost got it. And just like that, this game is tied 1-1.
Oh my. What a swing from Alex Burge. That ball just didn't even feel like it had the distance, kind of carried up in the air, got up high, and got out of here. Burge had 3 home runs last year for the Saints squad, belts his first one of this season just a day after his former teammate at Wichita State, Josh Livingston, at bat here, hit a home run. Some poetic justice there. Burge, what a swing, too. It just didn't feel like it had that distance, didn't feel like it had the carry, but picks up his first home run, his 5th RBI of the season.
Josh Livingston taking a semi-break, was playing third base last night, will DH tonight, but the hot bat went 3 for 4, but reached base in all 4 at-bats, was a triple shy of the cycles. That one smoked to right field. Thomas looking back on that one. And how about back-to-back home runs? Josh Livingston.
And talk about back-to-back home runs. Talk about a mirror image just belted towards right center field, right to the same part of the ballpark. That thing hit up so high on that outfield fence. There's a sort of a screen up there that it was just an absolute no-doubter. That ball was crushed. How about home runs in back-to-back days for Livingston, home runs in back-to-back at-bats for the Saints, and after starting things off, giving up a run in the first, now a 2-1 advantage here in the bottom of this frame.
Yeah, we saw in Parker's last appearance, he set up against the Foresters on June 23rd, went 5 innings, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, 4 hits, 1 earned run. He's already surrendered 3 hits in the bottom of the first inning. That one's in there. 4 strike 2. Joey Donnelly stepping up to the dish. And how about the double play, but then 2 home runs to regain the lead as Donnelly just slaps that one towards the first baseman. Hammond will take it himself. And that'll do it for the bottom of the first inning, but now without some damage. Back-to-back solo home runs from Alex Burge and Josh Livingston. And Spencer Seed will walk onto the mound with a 2-1 lead, but to the top of the second inning here in Pasadena. Top of the second inning here in Pasadena, the Saints with back-to-back solo home runs have regained the lead. Seeing a little bit more offensive life here at home as Spencer Seed on the mound. Throws in a ball as Jack Hammond stepping up. Went 2 for 3 last night with 3 runs scored. As that one's in there for strike 1.
Just his 5th game of the season. I really like how Seed threw that pitch in there for a strike. You know, I'm kind of curious how he plays here with the lead after giving up the run in the first.
That one sent to Lopez. Bobbles it. Elliott was trying to make a throw. So Hammond will advance to first on the fielding error from Lopez.
Just absolutely brutal right there. Looked like a pretty routine grounder, kind of a weird chop out of the dirt, and Lopez unable to corral it. That's concerning, too, because that one looked pretty routine. And then Elliott kind of bounced towards Elliott. Elliott wanted to fling onto first, but Lopez and him kind of bumped into each other.
Bring up Nathan Cadena, who's playing shortstop tonight. Went 2 for 2 last night with a couple of walks. Brings his batting average up to 256 and an on-base percentage of 458 through 13 games. 13 walks in 13 games this season. As that one's in there for strike 1. Spencer Seed, we mentioned, just his second appearance with the Saints came a little bit later in the season. Has one strikeout so far. Not only one, has only the one strikeout so far through an inning of work. Just checks back on Hammond. See a little bit of defensive movement from the Riptide. Cadena playing second base last night. That's why it threw me off for a little bit, so I apologize for that. That one is popped up towards the second baseman. Cam Conley trying to glare out the sun. Makes the easy catch for out number 1. Bring up the right fielder, Matthew Thomas. We didn't see him last night against the Saints. Last game came against the Forsters on June 23rd, where he went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Has not had his best start at the plate. 9 games, a 161 batting average, striking out in 14 of his 31 at-bats. So just looking to get things going here offensively. As a check back to first, that one was close. Hammond gets back in safely on the dive.
And Thomas was trying to get back into a rhythm during BP. Absolutely belted one towards right center field, right by the 364 sign in center. Got out of the ballpark. Another swing that would take the Riptide back in front. But, you know, he's a guy that really just hasn't had the start to the season that he would have liked. Obviously, you mentioned the 161 batting average, the 14 strikeouts. He's been in and out of the lineup. It's taken 6 days off. Last game he played against was June 23rd against the Foresters. But he's a guy who can swing the bat. Gives you really some extra base pop in the lineup.
The count runs to 1-1. Hammond taking fairly sizable lead over there at first. Don't really see that with the lefty on the mound as Seed fires. That one slapped foul, 1-2.
Got Rocco Gump on deck.
Rocco Gump on deck was batting in the 9-hole last night as well, but had a pretty solid game. Really made the pitchers work. Went 0 for 2 with 2 hit by pitches, and glad to see him good. As a swing and a miss for strike 3, and Matthew Thomas has a little bit of words for the home plate umpire.
Yeah, it was actually looking and really got in on the hands. Really surprised that one was called a strike. seen a slew of maybe officiating ups and downs this season. That one definitely in on the hands. Definitely understand why Thomas was probably unhappy with that.
First pitch hacking to Cam Conley, on to first in time. What a play defensively by Cam Conley. Head to the bottom of the second inning. The Saints still leading this one 2-1. Bottom of the second inning here in Pasadena. Andrew Parker with an uncharacteristic first inning. Had the single from Jacob Sharp, got out of it quickly with the double play. So 2 outs and nobody on. But then Alex Burge and Josh Livingston responded with back-to-back solo home runs, both to right field, both basically in the exact same spot to right field. So Parker, 3 hits, 2 earned runs allowed so far in this one.
I don't think you could have thrown a baseball from home plate to that part of the ballpark as precisely and accurately as those back-to-back blasts were. But this is a really interesting bottom of the lineup here. You got Bermudez here, Elliott on deck, Lopez in the hole, and then Eli Watson in the 9-hole tonight.
Yeah, haven't seen Eli Watson in a bit as Bermudez behind 0-2. We saw him, Watson, I apologize, come in as a defensive substitution last night, but was left in the on-deck circle when the Saints fell 14-1. As that one just outside for ball 1. You saw Parker painting the outside part of the plate. Thought he got strike 3 there. Bermudez held up. Bermudez out in right field. That's been his home for the majority of the season. That one's inside for ball 2, and Parker continuing to walk off the mound thinking strike 3. And for good measures, he'd been getting those 2 first strikes on the outer half of the plate. Bermudez is really working him as the 2-2 swung on and missed, and there is the strike 3 as Parker picks up his first K of the evening. Bring up Easton Elliott, who has been patrolling second base and third base. We saw the injury happen to him at third base at Cal Lutheran. Good to see him back.
And Elliott's really a guy who has been swinging a pretty good bat in this bottom of the lineup. He's got an 8-game on-base streak in appearances with a plate appearance. Has hits in 5 of his last 6, 7 RBIs in his last 4 games. In his last 5 games, slashing .412, .500, .529.
Sorry, that was Gordon that was out with the injuries. That one slapped to the third baseman, on to first. So kind of like how this bottom of the first inning went, 2 quick outs for the Saints. They'll bring up Adrian Lopez, the shortstop.
Talk about a guy who's really struggled in the last little bit. Has multiple strikeouts in his last 6 games, or has multiple strikeouts in 6 games this season. Not in his last 6 games, but in his last 5 games, he's just 1 for 20 striking out in 38% of his plate appearances. It's really been brutal after, a start to the season where we saw him swing the bat, hit a home run in Compton, and look like, the next best thing to slice bread in this Saints lineup.
You look at it, Lopez 2 for his last 22 overall when all said and done, and 5 walks. And we saw an batting average that was once at 391, has now trickled down to 233 as the count quickly 0-2 to Lopez.
Impressive that the on-base percentage is still at 358. He's still found ways to get a couple walks here and there, even along the myriad of strikeouts.
0-2 to Lopez. That one's belted foul. Out of play, so we'll do it again. Lopez from Cal State Long Beach will be making his way to USC this coming fall. Didn't play last night in Irvine. Well, last game came against the Foresters as that one is in there for strike 3. Parker works a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts. We'll head to the top of the 3rd inning with the score remaining the same, 2-1 here in Pasadena. All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will. It will score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the 1st inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound. Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the 3rd base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Rio did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the 1st inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the 9th for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
Head to the top of the lineup here. Michael Diaz set to get things going. Struck out swinging in his first plate appearance as Spencer Seed working on the mound for his 3rd inning. Is that pitch low and away for ball 1. Diaz from Grand Canyon University had a monster game last night. 3 for 6 with a double and a triple and 3 RBIs. Working with a 391 on base. That one's in there for strike 1.
Yeah, I still just love that off-speed stuff from him. I mean, he's really able to locate it, and he does such a good job keeping that baseball from being able to see through the windup.
As that one is smoked to right field. Bermudez looking back on that one, and a nice catch at the wall by Jacob Shart. That one was very dangerously close to being out.
Yeah, I mean, just a mirror image of 2 swings we've already seen from Josh Livingston and Alex Burge. I mean, that ball belted to right center field and just got up there, and maybe the wind didn't quite have as much push on that one because off the bat it looked like it had a chance, but just died towards the end, and Jacob Shart able to range over to his left, outright, pick up this very loud, very long first out of the inning.
Bring up Patrick Hackworth, who had an infield single as first pitch swinging. That one lays down into left field, so 2 for 2 for Hackworth after going 0 for 4 last night. Quickly, we'll bring up the left fielder, Jake Brown, who grounded into a force out in his first plate appearance, was 0 for 5 last night with a hat trick of strikeouts from Cal Baptist University. That one popped up, be out of play, heads up, lands in the seats. So quickly strike one. Brown still operating with that .424 on-base percentage of just, a game that he would like to throw away. Still batting .261 on the year through 13 games is that one. Sent to third base. Foul ball, I apologize. So 0-2 count.
I mean, foul ball, but can we just talk about Easton Elliott there? Oh, my, wow.
Yeah, nice glove.
What a glove. I mean, that's not his natural. I mean, he doesn't have a natural position. He can play anywhere. He's just an athlete, and that's something we've talked about. But just what a scoop and a throw over there to first base. I think it would have beaten him, too, is it looked like Brown started to hold up, or maybe he realized it was foul. But, wow, just even that play won't even count, but just continuing to dazzle everyone's brain. I mean, you can have Easton Elliott there. You can have Josh Livingston there. I feel like third base is pretty locked up over there at the hot corner.
0-2 outside. Quick throw down to first, but back in safely with ease is Patrick Hackworth. Matt Spear in the on-deck circle. DH tonight after being the backstop last night. Got to keep his hot bat in the lineup. As Seed fires that one outside, so the count runs to 2-2.
Yeah, just trying to get that back in the back door, but unable to quite get enough zip on it to find the strike zone. Brown now on a 3-game run scoring streak after he scored a run in the first inning on that stolen base and then came around to score on the single.
That one's down low, so the count runs full. So credit to Brown in this one, working from an 0-2 count to now 3-2. Riptide 1 run on 3 hits. Saints 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. Seed checks on first. Pickoff move. And we got a pickle.
Oh, yeah.
Hackworth got caught. Seed with a nice play. And that'll apply the tag. So 2 outs.
Someone called the deli because we just ordered some pickles here in the broadcast booth. I'd love some pickles. That's what we got to do one of these innings. We just got to start trying some pickles. Get maybe with one of our interviews too.
Wouldn't mind.
Well, snack served early, I guess.
So now 2 outs here. Could be a little bit of a momentum shift with a 3-2 count and 1 out previously. As Seed fires that one. Ball 4. So the first walk issued by Seed. Bring up Matt Spear, who had the RBI single into right.
Yeah, do you like your pickles and spears, or I'm going to stop now.
I don't know. I like the way the delis do it,
Yeah.
however they do it. Bring up Matt Spear, who went 2 for 4 last night. Already an RBI single in this one. Pitch outside for ball 1.
It's now slew of balls in a row from the Saints starter, and
Going it's the outer half for strike 1. Yeah, you had thrown 5 straight balls leading into that. As Seed allowing just 2 hits and a walk. Jake Brown over there at first. That one low and away for ball 2. Lefty on lefty matchup here between Spear and Seed.
just the 8th time that the Riptide have been caught stealing this season. Early in this inning, and I thought Seed did a really nice job kind of holding up his delivery just a second, getting Hackworth to bite, and now you just have the guy on first.
Quickly behind in the count. Now 3-1 is Seed. As Matt Spear in a friendly hitter's count. As that one's down low, so 2 straight walks now issued by Spencer Seed. Will bring up the backstop Brendan Wilkinson, who flew out to right field in his last at-bat.
We've talked about the importance of getting that third out when you can, right? clean bases. There's no one on base. You just picked off Hackworth, and now you have back-to-back walks, and that's really tough because you're extending innings and you're throwing more pitches and you're getting deeper into your bullpen eventually over the course of a season. This is something that the Saints squad really has to do a better job of. Yes, you pick up the first 2 outs of the inning. Now go get the third. You got to have that killer mentality.
Is that pitch low for ball 1, and Burge just smartly talking to Seed, who the command of his has just gotten a little out of control. We saw 2 solid innings to open up the game in this third inning, just back-to-back walks and now a first pitch walk. And Brendan Wilkinson now 0 for his last 15. You just look at his numbers at Cal State Northridge this last year, a 148 batting average, but a 415 on base percentage. I've never seen that in my life.
And even that, still this season, you mentioned kind of the struggles to find hits, but he still has a 313 on base percentage coming into tonight. He's batting 214 coming into tonight. I mean, he's a guy that can still find a way to get on base. And, we talk about that with Alex Burge, too, who, this season he's been fantastic at the dish in terms of getting hits, but at Wichita State last year, he was a 150 or so hitter, but still on base percentage over 300. It's all about being a smart hitter. You don't necessarily have to put bat to ball every single time. You got to take what your pitchers are giving you, and that's how you do it the best.
That one fouled back, so the count now 1-2. 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. The Saints leading 2-1 as Spencer Seed has an opportunity here to get out of this inning unharmed. Runners on first and second for Wilkinson. Jack Hammond in the on-deck circle. As Seed checks back on the runner, will fire the 1-2. That one just grazes the outer half of the plate. So the count now even at 2-2.
It chipped the frame, but it didn't leave a dent, is what it did. Just not quite enough oomph to find the strike zone, and that was such a close pitch, 50-50.
Seed fires the 2-2. That one fouled back. So Wilkinson will continue to battle in this one. Jack Hammond reached on an error by the shortstop Adrian Lopez. He's waiting in the on-deck circle with potential at-bat. Spencer Seed trying to eliminate that chance, get out of this inning with the 1-run lead. As he checks back on, Brown will fire. Runner goes. That one in there. And now an interesting situation here, as there was a double steal happening, but safe as Cam Conley unable to get a hard throw.
I thought we had a 2-for-1 deal on Pickles, but clearly not this inning. But now runners in the corners, and it's all about that third out, right? We've mentioned that. You had nobody on base with 2 outs, okay? And now you've got runners in the corners and a 2-2 count with 2 outs and a starting pitcher who you feel a little bit iffy about in terms of throwing a strike. It's actually a full count payoff pitch up here, and it's all about extending these innings.
Seed fires, swing and a miss, strike 3. Seed gets out of the inning unharmed, picks up his 3rd strikeout of the evening. So we'll head to the bottom of the 3rd inning, 9-1-2 due up for the Saints. Evan Davis, Adam Beck, bringing you Saints baseball. Still on the mound for the OC Riptide is the right-hander Andrew Parker, due up to face the 9-1-2 hitters. And after a lackluster first inning that saw back-to-back home runs, Parker settled in beautifully, striking out 2 batters in the bottom of the second inning, and now bring up Eli Watson just in his 7th game. Last full at-bats came against the Academy Barons back on June 23rd, where he went 1 for 3 with 2 walks, 3 runs scored.
Picked up his first hit of the year.
Yeah, that was in the 18-1 blowout win here in Pasadena. Batting just .083 on the season. But we mentioned got the monkey off his back. And he got that single into center field as Parker fires the first pitch on the outer half for strike 1. Parker coming into tonight with a 1.50 ERA and a .94 whip as Watson belts that over the shortstop's head and picks up yet another hit.
How about that for Eli Watson? Hits in back-to-back appearances for him. Maybe a bat is starting to heat up, and it's huge as the Saints. You can never have enough depth, especially quality outfielders, and Watson really trying to make a push to be a starter more often, and he's going to do it if he gets some singles like that.
Bring up Jacob Shart, who singled past a diving second baseman in Patrick Hackworth in his first at-bat, as Parker fires that pitch in there for strike 1.
The 1124 OPS for a guy who doesn't have intense power, who, when he swings the bat, you don't expect it to be killed, but, sneaky power in terms of the extra base hits, in terms of the home runs, had that 4 extra base hit game earlier this week against the Barons. It's still really impressive. That strike on the outside half is, that's probably in the Rose Bowl where that ball was.
Quickly behind 0-2. It's Jacob Shart. Went 1 for 5 last night with a couple of strikeouts. That one sent into left field. A nice piece of base running from Eli Watson. He'll get from first to third with the speed. Jacob Shart will venture back to first, but you saw the shortstop, Nathan Cadena, trying to guard second. I don't know if he necessarily would have had a play on it. It was kind of a very similar hit from Eli Watson as well. But Jacob Shart now 2 for 2 with 2 singles.
Yeah, if Watson wasn't already going there, that was supposed to be a hit and run there. And, if he wasn't already going, he would not have been able to get to third base just because that ball wasn't hit it wasn't hit that hard. It's kind of just looped over there into left field. And, it was hit hard enough where it kind of got to the left fielder quick enough in Jake Brown where he was able to kind of throw that ball in. And, really close play at third base, but Watson just had that extra step off the bag at first.
So now runners at the corners for Cam Conley, who grounded into a double play in his first at-bat. As that pitch a little outside for strike 1.
Conley was team's leader in RBIs for pretty much the first third of the season until Jacob Shart decided to turn things up. Conley still at now at 11 RBIs. 11 games played. This is his 12th appearance.
He sends that to the second baseman, and the base running continues. Cam Conley with an RBI single. Runners will just switch places as Patrick Hackworth now gets fooled.
And you don't have to hit the ball hard. You don't particularly have to make good contact, and that's exactly what Cam Conley does, just putting it in play. Just chopping one that got towards the right side, had enough power to get into right field, and you've got first and third once again. The super dangerous hitter in Alex Burge, who leads the team in walks, leads the team in on-base percentage, has been such a battler at the dish. Obviously had that home run to right field in the first inning to get things going for the Saints offense. And, for a pitcher that has been so dominant all season long, Andrew Parker on the ropes here a little bit now in the third inning.
We saw his last start against the Foresters on June 23rd. Went 5 innings with 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, 4 hits, and just 1 earned run. And see tonight, 6 hits allowed, 3 runs, 2 strikeouts. But, some of these hits, he's kind of just like, what is going on here?
Yeah, already has 2 quality starts as would be defined by, if you look at the MLB, he's got 2 outings of more than 5 or more innings. Only 1 earned run in both of those. Has 2 games of 8 strikeouts. And yeah, the .94 whip, the 1.50 ERA, the 209 opponent batting average, 269 opponent slugging, too. It's not like guys are getting hard contact off him. until Burge and Livingston were like, yeah. So I'll take an order of back-to-back home runs.
And Burge up again. Home run to right field, just got over the wall. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Nobody warming up in the Riptide bullpen. So Alex Burge picking up his first home run of the season. Now 5 RBIs. See the on-base percentage continue to increase. The OPS is at 1,100. That will also increase with the home run. 3-1 here in the bottom of the third inning. Burge behind the count, 0-1. He looks at strike 2. Conley dancing over there at first. Wonder maybe if he runs on the next pitch, really fool out the middle infield again.
I think Parker's going to try and nibble here. I don't think he's going to throw something at Burge where he's either expecting a swing or he's just trying to get a strikeout swinging here.
Conley holds up for ball 1. You see him nodding no.
Yeah, Burge does that all the time. I mean, every single time he sees a pitch he doesn't like, no. It's his go-to nod.
Just count now 1-2 to one of the most disciplined hitters. That one's fired, belted to left field. Jake Brown looking up. That one is gone. An opposite field home run. Alex Burge.
First pickles, then Oppo tacos. How about that for Alex Burge? Hit the home run to right. He was like, nah. I'm going to hit one to left now. How about a 3-run blast for the backstop? Continues to absolutely light it up at the plate. Adrian Lopez has his hands up, wants to give Alex Burge a hug. I mean, how about the offense here? 6-1 Saints.
And how about a tale of 2 games? We saw last night the Riptide put an absolute beatdown on the Saints, 14-1. And now 6-1 here. Nobody out in the bottom of the third inning. And just a very uncharacteristic start from Andrew Parker, who came into tonight with a 1.50 ERA, a sub-1 whip. This is one of the best pitchers in the CCL. Now credited with 6 earned runs, 7 hits, 2 strikeouts to his name. And still nobody warming up yet in the Riptide pen as Livingston swings through that one for strike 2. And he already has a home run in this one as well.
And how about the home runs in this game? I mean, coming into tonight, 6 home runs, 5th in the CCL from the Saints offense, have added 3 more homers in just 3 innings. We're not even through 3 innings. Through 2 innings of action tonight, now up to 9 home runs on the season as the power starts to come out. And we've always talked about this with guys like Josh Livingston, guys like Alex Burge. We've hinted at the potential of power, but now we're really starting to see it. I mean, combined, these two have 4 in the past two games.
That one's popped up. The backstop, Brendan Wilkinson, looking at that one just into the stands. So the count will remain 0-2 with 2 straight foul-offs by Livingston, who already has a home run in this game, as we mentioned, to right field. So that's his 2nd of the year. We talked about that torrid run he went on towards the end of his collegiate season at Wichita State University, a rising senior from Prosper, Texas. As Parker fires the 0-2, that one outside for ball 1.
And Livingston's been incredibly good, especially against this Riptide squad. I mean, batting .600 coming into tonight against Orange County with a 1692 OPS, 1,000 slug, a 692 on base percentage. And yes, the game yesterday certainly helped, but no strikeouts so far this season against the Riptide, and he's walking in 23% of the plate appearances that he's playing against the squad. I mean, clearly there's something about the Riptide that he likes to see.
Yeah, finish a triple, shy of the cycles. That one smoked to right field, but not enough mustard on that one as Matthew Thomas will glove that in for the first out of the bottom of the third.
Yeah, it was like a Chicago dog to right field. No mustard, no ketchup, just relish. You know how it goes.
Just pulling the ball, though, incredibly well. Livingston. We saw his home run to right field in Orange County as well. Or in Irvine, apologies. Now bring up the first baseman, Joey Donnelly, who ground out to first in his first at-bat. Gets one to the shortstop, Nice throw by Cadena, but Livingston, or Donnelly, apologies, will get in there.
Coming to the plate for Arroyo
Just a little trickler down the left side. Thought Gump might have had a play on it. It got past him. Cadena had to move to his right, throw to his left. Always going to be a tough play. And Donnelly just has enough speed to get onto the base path. So after going hitless yesterday, picks up his first hit of the day. It's an infield single, but nonetheless good for the batting average, good for the confidence. And for the Saints, good to have another runner on base.
Quickly checked back on first is Joey Donnelly, who gets credited with an infield single, and that's Parker's 8th hit surrendered through 2 1/3. As Bermudez slaps that one towards the second baseman. Hackworth onto short, onto first. Double play, gets out of the inning. So some damage dealt. 3-run homer Oppo Taco by Alex Burge. So we head to the top of the 4th inning with the Saints leading this one 6-1. Top of the 4th inning here in Pasadena. Spencer Seed back on the mound. Got into a little bit of trouble last inning. Thankfully, no runs surrendered. As Jack Hammond leading things off. 0 for 1 with reaching on an error. And Seed currently with 3 strikeouts in this one, as well as 2 walks, 3 hits allowed. So that one's in there for a strike. Spencer Seed only was able to get in 1 inning against the Academy Barons, I think, just to ease him in. It's the 1-1 offering. That one on the outer half for strike 2, so quickly gets back into the count.
Yeah, and we've seen the Saints do that with, almost all of their non-necessarily natural starters, and that might be a weird way to put it, but like Danny Velas was always going to start games, right? Caleb Reyes was always going to start games as Seed picks up a strikeout there.
4th of the evening.
But you got guys like what? Michael Nunez, Kobe Minchie, now Spencer Seed, guys that, started in a bullpen role for a little bit, got some action there. Got another guy like Trajan Lee too. And now they're getting starts.
Nathan Cadena due up here. Popped up to second in his first at-bat. Was 2 for 2 last night, couple of walks. 458 on base percentage. Has also pitched an inning for the Riptide. He connects on the first pitch he sees to Adrian Lopez on to first in time. A bobble from Lopez, but still able to record the second out of the inning.
How about that from Adrian Lopez? Coming in on that ball, attacking the baseball, and then flinging it to first base for a pretty nice play for the shortstop. And we've definitely highlighted the miscues and the errors at the shortstop position for Lopez, but that's got to be a big confidence one after having that mistake earlier on in this game. It's a tough play made easy just by the athleticism of Lopez, and at the end of the day, that's why he's playing shortstop.
First pitch in there for a ball, so quickly 2 outs, and it's The infamous third out that has been a struggle for the Saints these last couple of games. It's Matthew Thomas up. He struck out looking in his first at-bat. Had some words for the home plate umpire. Definitely a 50-50 call that didn't go his way.
Definitely a little inside. Definitely something that, you know, there's an argument there to be had.
And for a guy, he gets hit by a pitch. I was going to say, for a guy that's striking out nearly 50% of his at-bats, you can also just sense a bit of frustration from himself as another Riptide player hit by a pitch. We saw 3 of those happen last night. Bring up the third baseman, Rocco Gump, who is no stranger to the hit by pitch, got hit twice last night. Currently 0 for 1 with a ground out to second.
And interesting that we see both these teams with very 2 different strategies in the 9 holes. Gump probably shouldn't be batting the 9 hole. He's got a little bit more power than that. Yes, he's
sends that one to left field. Jacob Sharp trying to, or Eli Watson, apologies, trying to make a play on that. It'll be a bloop single into left.
But you know what I was about to say, a guy who strikes out a lot, has struggled putting the ball in play at times, and as soon as I'm about to say that, naturally he bloops one to left field. But even then, I mean, still with those 15 strikeouts so far this season in 14 games played, you'll see the Saints typically, I guess they've had Crew McChesney in the 9 hole for a little bit. They've had guys like Tyler Gordon, but they're much more contact guys, even though McChesney has struggled with the strikeouts recently.
Bring up Michael Diaz, who was just inches away from a home run as that one gets past Burge, so both runners will advance into scoring position.
Once again, third out of the inning.
Almost too predictable.
It's just Saints baseball over the past week and a half. It's really clean first 2 outs of innings, and then as soon as there's 2 outs on the board, it feels like everything goes back to haywire.
So first pitch ruled a ball for Diaz, who we mentioned 3 for 6, was just an offensive juggernaut last night. He fouls off that one, so the count 1-1.
This is where you need your best stuff. This is where you need that off-speed stuff to really work. Challenge with the fastball. Attack the zone. Go get yourself a strikeout here if you're Spencer Seed.
Flings that one in there for strike 2. Diaz held up. Still doesn't get the call. So now a 1-2 count, 2 outs here, top of the 4th inning. Saints lead 6-1. Runners at second and third. So you think a single will get this deficit cut in half as that one's fouled back, so they'll do it again, 1-2.
But also something you have to think about, which is a little challenging if you're a pitcher. You've just thrown a ball, and it kind of got past Alex Burge. That's always going to be in the back of your mind. And with runners on second and third, you know that another pitch like that, another pass ball, another wild pitch, anything in between, that scores another run too.
Diaz held up. That one in the dirt. Burge stopped it for ball 2.
And what it means, especially, is that you can't be as aggressive, right? You can't fling, you know, something with a little bit more spin, a little bit more whiz, a little bit extra pizzazz. Because if it gets past Burge, I mean, you've got to run on the board. Yes, you get the 6-1 advantage, but you don't want the Riptide hanging around.
Seed flings 2-2. That one on the outer half of the plate gets the call for strike 3. So another inning with no damage dealt for the Riptide. Seed picks up his 5th strikeout of the evening. Heads to the bottom of the 4th inning with the score remaining the same, 6-1 here in Pasadena. All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it will score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the 1st inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound. Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across One out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Carrillo did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4-spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4-spot in the bottom of the ninth for the Saints to end things in the ninth inning? What a game for the Saints.
Seven, 8, 9 due up for the bottom of the fourth inning. The Saints lead this one 6-1. Evan Davis, Adam Beck here, and Easton Elliott up, the third baseman tonight, giving Josh Livingston some bit of rest, but we've seen just the glove from Elliott over at third, second or third, just a great defender. First pitch fouled off for strike one.
And it's the athleticism, and he uses that in the batter's box, too. I mean, we've seen him slap a couple balls that probably shouldn't have found his way to get on base that he's made into infield singles. And, you know, whenever the bat is cold, you feel like that's what he has to go to. Lately, the bat's been hot, though, and especially against the Riptide. He's played well in 2 games. This is his now 9th plate appearance against the Riptide, batting .250.
That pitch just outside for ball 2. Very surprising to see Parker back on the mound for a fourth inning. Just hasn't had the usual stuff we talked about already. 2 of his 4 starts being quality starts. Coming into this game with just very impressive numbers. 2-0 with the 1.50 ERA, .94 WHIP. Obviously, those numbers are going to balloon with 6 earned runs, in addition to 8 hits. No walks, 2 strikeouts. And as I say, no walks, Easton Elliott draws a walk. He drew 2 walks last night against the Riptide. Didn't shout out the fact that he's now batting .346 on the season.
And impressively, as it seems like Adrian Lopez has changed his walk-up song. But it's so joyful. I think that's what the song's called. Yeah? I'm not really good with song names and song titles or song lyrics.
That Shazam
Famously
app,
bad.
That Shazam app really comes into play. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. You can also ask Google now, too. And Siri.
Power of technology.
But don't ask Siri if her name's Google, because then she'll get upset.
Lopez fouls back the first pitch he sees. 0-1 count. Parker 6 runs, 8 hits allowed as Lopez connects on a pitch to center field. Diaz under that one, makes the catch, so 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth.
Watson now up for his second plate appearance, singled last time up. And, you know, if you can get contributions from Eli Watson, this Saints team is going to be really dangerous because, I mean, Watson, you just feel like he was so close to making an impact throughout throughout the first part of the season, really. And finally, he's starting to click, right? He's got hits in back-to-back games, scored 3 runs in his last appearance as Elliott went. But you just feel like if you can get him into the lineup more often, I mean, he's a dugout favorite. He's one of the guys in there.
You saw the Saints trying to pull off their 3rd hit and run of the game as speedster and Easton Elliott patrolling first base. Pretty sizable lead over there. It's checked back now. Ball gets past Jack Hammond. Elliott heading to third. Coach Aaron Milam, nice communication.
And by communication, you mean just yelling at the top of his lungs. I mean, that's just a great job. He sees that ball gets past the first baseman. It gets into that right field, no man's land area where you've got so much space in foul territory, and that ball just got away. And, Coach Milam, you know, always a good yeller, right? Always a good guy to, you know, get that voice going. Can really get the lads going that way. That time just going, you know, Easton Elliott, you got to move.
You see Nathan Cadena just patting Parker on the shoulder, letting him know, hey, just it's not your fault. Now Eli Watson with a runner in scoring position, behind in the count 0-2, 2 foul-offs. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Saints leading this one 6-1. As Parker flings that pitch, Watson puts bat to ball. That one just finds a bit of grass, so the count will remain the same at 0-2. It's Rocco Gump, Nathan Cadena, and Jake Brown all trying to go after it. And just opposite games that we've seen where the Riptide just now down large. We saw last night the Saints in a similar spot. It's Andrew Parker trying to get second out here in the bottom of the fourth. That one hits Watson, and Watson gingerly will walk to first base. You could see him grimacing.
But productive plate appearance, right? You know, finds a way to get on base, so now you've got 2 on, runners at first and third for a guy who knows how to bring in some runs. Leads this Saints squad in RBIs, 12 of them. Second in the CCL in batting average coming into tonight.
That'll do it for Andrew Parker, who exits the game with 3 1/3 innings complete, 2 strikeouts. Surrenders 8 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch. There's another right-handed pitcher set to take the mound. And that'll be number 50, Colton Dahl. Take a little bit of a break here as Dahl will warm up. Saints have runners on first and third, 1 out. Lead this one 6-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. On the mound for the Riptide, number 50, Colton Dahl, making his 5th appearance. 6 innings, 5 strikeouts, 9 walks. Working with a 12 ERA. He's met with a tough task facing the 1-2-3 hitters as Jacob Shart booms that one to right field. Matthew Thomas will just have to look back. That one is gone. Welcome to the game, Colton Dahl. Jacob Shart with a 3-run home run, the second 3-run home run of the game, and the lead continues to balloon. It's 9-1.
I mean, off the bat, you knew that one was gone. It's just an absolute no-doubter. It was absolutely crushed towards right field. Shart got every single ounce of that one, and he probably is going to go up to Josh Livingston in the dugout and be like, you know, I know you had the team lead in home runs for about an inning, right? An inning and a half. I know, you had to, but I just had to get one. Now, home runs both at home for Jacob Shart to right field. I mean, he's swinging such a hot bat right now. And when he's making contact, the ball just goes a mile. But he does it in such a sneaky way. It's just almost quiet power from the outfielder.
And Jacob Sharp saw his batting average dip to below 400 and said, "Hold my beer." The batting average will now get back up to 400.
He was like, "Evan, just for you. Just for you."
Just for me. And you feel now for Andrew Parker, who's credited, or charged rather, with all 9 runs in this game. So that ERA will skyrocket. The count 1-2 to Cam Conley, who's 1 for 2 with an RBI single with the hit and run action as Dahl flings that one outside. Count now 2-2.
Well, I guess he'll be credited for 8 of the runs, right? Because Sharp with the home run.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry, 8 of the runs. And a beautiful off-speed pitch from Dahl. Conley thought that one was coming in a little bit more, and Dahl with a nice strikeout.
I mean, it's just crazy to think about. A third of this lineup has had a home run today, and we're just in the 4th inning. Verge has had 2. He's had one to right field. He's had one to left field. I mean, I think it's only fitting if he tries to hammer one to center field, but you know, that flag there in dead center is looking awfully nice to hit with the baseball right about now.
So lead now 9-1 as that first pitch inside gets past the catcher, Wilkinson. So Burge 2 for 2, 2 home runs, 1 to right, 1 to left. 4 RBIs, will double his RBI total in those 2 at-bats. The OPS will continue to climb. The on-base percentage continue to climb. The batting average continue to climb. All impressive numbers coming into tonight. 368, 625, 1100. Head of the count 2-0 is swings at the first strike. That one sent foul down the first base line.
You know, I wonder what the Saints were thinking about last night. After losing 14-1, right? You know, you get walloped, to put it lightly. And you come back to the ballpark, you play against the same exact team, and you, through the first 4 innings, 9 runs, 4 home runs. I mean, this offense is feeling it right now, and the pitching's been pretty good too.
As that pitch gets Burge looking. So an uncharacteristic strikeout for Alex Burge, just his 4th of the season, but credit to Dahl. He gives up the 3-run homer to Sharp, but responds with 2 strikeouts. Saints lead this one 9-1 as we head to the top of the 5th inning here in Pasadena. Top of the 5th inning here in Pasadena. Spencer Seed will exit after 4 solid innings of work. 5 strikeouts, 4 hits, 2 walks, and a hit by pitch, an earned run as well. And the left-handed arms will continue with Andrew Wright taking the bump for his 5th appearance. Last appeared at Cal Lutheran against the Conejo Oaks. Went 3 innings with 6 runs, 4 earned, 6 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Coming into tonight, 9 innings, 10 strikeouts, 5 walks. So just not his best stuff in the last start, but the previous 3 were really solid.
Yeah, that last outing against the Oaks, he just got completely, hammered by those bats down there, or I guess west of here in Thousand Oaks, kind of west. Yeah, west, north. It's like dead west, really.
They were finding every
But
corner.
they were finding every. I mean, it was just that game was unreal. You'll look at the box score, especially for the Danny Vello stats, and that might be the best start I've seen out of anybody that's given up 5 or 6 earned runs.
And scary moment here as Hackworth gets hit by the first pitch of the game. The first pitch of the game thrown by Andrew Wright. Just a little scary moment. You could hear it right off the arm. So he'll head to first base with the coach. Wonder if maybe he comes out just trying to walk this one off. We saw 3 hit by pitches last game, already 2 in this one. He'll stay in, bring up Jake Brown.
And if you're the Saints here, right, it's just 1 base runner, it's 1 hit by pitch, yada, yada, yada. But you don't want to give the Riptide an opportunity to chip away at this lead, right? 9-1 lead, you're up 8 runs. It's pretty safe, especially for the 5th inning. But there's still time. There's still outs to play with. And if you're the Riptide, I mean, the offensive mentality is just get the next guy in the batter's box. Get on base, get the next guy in the batter's box. Nice first pitch strike there to Brown, but you really do not want to be hitting batters. You don't want to be walking guys. You just want to get the ball in play, make your defense make some plays, and move on through this game because you don't want the Riptide to hang around.
0-1 offering upstairs, so the count even. 1-1 is a quick pickoff move. Hackworth not paying attention. Alex Burge with the high IQ play. And this really is deja vu where now the Riptide have been picked off a few times.
Just a beaming smile as Burge flung that one onto first base. Just Hackworth in no man's land, just kind of got off the bag after the pitch and then didn't return to it. And Burge paying attention, yeah, that'll do it for the first out of the inning.
Feel bad for Hackworth, hit by a pitch and has now been caught twice. Once in the pickle, and then after hit by pitch, Burge just caught him lacking. It's a 1-2 with 1 out now. That one swung on, foul tip, strikeout. So Andrew Wright picks up his first strikeout of the night in the second out of the game, or the inning rather.
And he picks up his second out of the game too. It's now Matt Spear, who walked last time he was at the dish and then had an RBI single in his first plate appearance.
Went in there for strike 1. Talk about Matt Spear, has reached base and feels like in every plate appearance. You look at his numbers, has just really done a great job coming into this one. He's from San Diego State, now going to be a Wolverine at Michigan.
It's Big Ten baseball.
Big Ten baseball.
There you go. Nothing weird about Michigan being in the Big Ten. Strike 3 looking. There you go. How about that for Andrew Wright? Coming in after that tough opportunity against the Conejo Oaks. Comes back, a little 1-2-3 inning. Yeah, that's how Andrew Wright does it. To the bottom of the 5th we go. Saints baseball 9-1 here.
Bottom of the fifth inning here in Pasadena. Colton Dahl still on the mound for the Riptide. Josh Livingston up first. Both loud contact balls to right field. One that just got over the fence and one that was gloved by Matthew Thomas. Dahl got 2 strikeouts in the last inning. First pitch in there for a strike. Livingston on a bit of a heater. 2 home runs in his last 6 at-bats.
But we knew the power was there, and especially the power in streaky moments. I mean, we've talked about his 4 home runs in the conference tournament, 5 home runs in the last 2 weeks of the season for Wichita State. I mean, this is a guy that can really swing the bat, and this one's popped up.
Popped into left third base line as Rocco Gump looking to make a play on it, and he will for out number 1. Joey Donnelly up 1 for 2 with a ground out and a single.
But going back to Livingston just for a second, I mean, he had 11 home runs and 39 RBIs this past season for Wichita State. It's no surprise that he can swing the bat. It's just, I wonder if it's maybe potentially something to do with maybe swinging the wood bat instead of the metal bat. It takes you a couple weeks to get used to, but once you've got it, you've got it. That could potentially be part of it. Obviously, you're going to get a little less pizzazz off the wood bat as you would a metal bat, but even then.
Count 1-0 as Donnelly ropes a hit into right field. That'll be extra bases for sure. Matthew Thomas flings that one in, and Donnelly, how about that? A 1-out double to get things going in the bottom of the 5th inning.
And I think Donnelly almost wanted to go 3 there, just because that ball got so deep into the right field corner, and you got to wonder if the outfield walls were swapped. I just want you to picture this for a second, right? Imagine it's 345 to left, 374 to right. I think that Donnelly goes because I think the ball gets deep enough, but it's a little bit shallower in right field. You know, you're a little less likely to hit the ball to a spot where the right fielder can't get to it in time. That time, Thomas got there, and, I mean, Donnelly, if he goes, it's a close play at third base. It's a bang-bang play. It's a 50-50 ball. He stays at second with the stand-up double. He'll take it.
Bermudez swings at the first pitch he sees into center field. Diaz under that. Donnelly thought about it for a hot second, but will make the smart play, go back to second base. And Colton Dahl surrendered 2 hits in this game, both for extra base hits. And Ray Bermudez 0 for 3 after that fly out. Bring up the third baseman, Easton Elliott, who walked in his last at-bat, ground out to third base in his first at-bat.
Elliott now on a 9-game on-base streak. And
connects on the first pitch he sees. Hackworth over to first. And Dahl quickly gets out of the innings. How about the last 2 batters swinging on the first pitch for outs? We'll head to the top of the 6th inning. The score remains the same, 9-1 here, Jackie Robinson Field.
Riptide is number 11, catcher
Andrew Wright
Wilkinson.
will continue on the mound for his second inning of work. 2 strikeouts, a hit by pitch in the top of the 5th inning, leading things off the backstop. Brendan Wilkinson, who is just riding a cold streak, 0 for his last 16. Squares up to bunt. Beautifully placed bunt down the third base line. Wright unable to corral. And how about picking up your first hit in 17 at-bats? Find any way to get on base.
Sometimes the way it is. I mean, when baseball's not treating you the way you want to be treated, you sometimes have to treat it the way it doesn't want to be treated and break the rules a little bit. Go back to old school small ball, bunt for a single, and, that's just the way it is sometimes. And honestly, respect to Wilkinson for figuring out a way to get on base because, that 0 for 17, you definitely want to move past that. And sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. You got to get the monkey off the back somehow. Sometimes you just got to bunt it off.
Bring up Jack Hammond. 0 for 2 with a reaching on an error and a strikeout swinging. First pitch in there for strike 1. Hammond was a part of the Kill Fest last night in Irvine. Was 2 for 3, scored 3 runs. It's a 14-1 win for the Riptide. Kind of a taste of their own medicine tonight as that pitch down low for ball 1.
Riptide didn't have 4 home runs, did they?
No, but they pelted extra base hits. That left center field and right center field gap was their best friend.
Freshly mown.
The 1-1 pitch from right, that one in there for strike 2. Jack Hammond from Oklahoma, Cal State Long Beach. Didn't have the greatest year offensively this past season, just slashing 194 and 134 at-bats. As that one is connected on into left field. Watson under it will make the catch for out number 1. We'll send Wilkinson back to first base.
Hard contact to left field. I mean, that definitely testing the outfield for a second, but Eli Watson just ranging over to his left, had to read it off the bat for a sec, and it's a 1 away for right here. I gone through 1 third. It's got a runner on first here.
Bring up Nathan Cadena for his 3rd plate appearance. Batting .256 on the season. Pop up and a ground out in his previous 2 at-bats. As that one connected right past the glove of Lopez, so runners will advance 90 feet. First and second now for Matthew Thomas.
That ball was absolutely hammered right at Adrian Lopez, and you feel like he has the length and he has the height to make a play there, but that ball was absolutely killed. Just a laser past Lopez, and if he times it better, it might have been in his glove, but, I mean, that's so tough. I mean, that ball was absolutely, like, the exit velo on that, I wonder what that was. Might have to ask our data analytics friends.
Bring up Matthew Thomas, who 0 for 1 was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. Didn't appear last night in the game against the Saints. Last appeared June 23rd against the Foresters as Wright checks back on the runner at second. Flings in a first pitch strike. So right now working a little bit of traffic on the base pass. The lead at a nice 8-run cushion with Nathan Cadena at first. Brendan Wilkinson over there at second. Cam Conley kind of playing him over as a swinging strike for Matthew Thomas brings the count to 0-2. And we talk about Thomas, 15 strikeouts and 32 at-bats. Just trying to find any way he can to get that bat clicking. Didn't have the best numbers at Cal Berkeley either. Granted, it was his freshman season in high school. Hit .391 for his career as runners advance. Pitch outside for ball 1. Nice stop by Elliott. But runners will now advance 90 feet closer. So now double play ball out. And now a sac fly or a ground out will bring home a run.
That's exactly what you want to do if you're the Riptide, because you want to just get guys closer to scoring position. Move 90 feet here, move 90 feet there. Just put a little bit of pressure on the Saints defense and see if it breaks.
Nice hold by Matthew Thomas. We'll get the count back up to 2-2. Thomas from Garden Grove, California, Cypress High School. His dad, Milton, played football at San Diego State, and his brother currently plays baseball at Colorado. As another strikeout for Thomas. Now 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. That one swinging. Be Wright's third K of the evening. Bring up the untraditional 9-hitter, Rocco Gump, who batting in the high 290s, close to 300, and just, as we mentioned, just not a guy you usually see in the 9-hole. From Northwestern State University, Chandler, Arizona, put up really good numbers in his 2024 season. 285 batting average in 55 games, 403 on base percentage, 18 total extra base hits, 21 total extra base hits, ranked second on the team in doubles, third on the team in RBIs. 5 stolen bases on the season, 12 RBIs. It's the 1-1. Swung on and missed, fouled off, so runners aren't able to advance. Count now 1-2. Seeing Spencer Seed be able to get out of some damage. Andrew Wright got out of damage last inning as well. He's now got runners at second and third again. 2 outs here. Top of the 6th inning. Rocco Gump will belt that one foul right into the Riptide dugout. So the count will remain the same. Rocco Gump, a rising senior, mentioned Northwestern State, had a team-high 12 multi-RBI games and was second on the team with 15 multi-hit performances. Already a single in this one as that one is connected on. Easy play for Cam Conley over at second, and Andrew Wright gets out of the damage yet again. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The score continues to remain the same, 9-1 here in Pasadena. All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it will score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the 1st inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound. The Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Carrillo did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the 1st inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the 9th for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
Welcome you to the bottom of the 6th inning. Evan Davis, Adam Beck here. Saints baseball as they lead this one 9-1. First time we're seeing a left-handed pitcher in this one. Nathan Hoy, the rising sophomore from Yorba Linda, California.
Just his 2nd appearance of the season. Pitched an inning against the Foresters a week ago. Allowed a hit, allowed a walk. Struck out 2. Didn't give up a run, though.
He'll be tasked with the 7, 8, 9 hitters, leading things off in the inning. Adrian Lopez, who mid-game switched his walk-up song. First time I've seen that. It's a first pitch strike.
I mean, when you're 1 for your last 22, I think that's pretty good reason to go for a little switch.
Nathan Hoy from UC San Diego, 11 appearances in 2024, 10.05 ERA and 14 1/3 innings of work, 4 strikeouts to 14 walks. Looking to get things back on track here in summer, as Lopez fouls that one back, so the count remains 0-2. Lopez, we mentioned, just struggling a bit, and saw Peter Worth get a haircut. The luscious locks are gone.
We saw Brennan Wilkinson bunt for a single.
Adrian Lopez switching his walk-up song is Good Eye, ball outside.
Sometimes you just gotta mess with the dynamics. You gotta change the mojo. You gotta just switch things up.
It's the 1-2 offering from Hoy, and Lopez will pop that one up. Nathan Cadena under that, and he'll make the catch for the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning.
So there goes Lopez, and now that brings up Eli Watson. He's reached base both the times he's been up. I mean, last time he took one off the body, a little hit by pitch action, but a single in his first at bat.
Watson singled in his first, hit by pitch. Nice to see him staying in the game. Saw just a little bit of a stinger on that hit by pitch as that one upstairs for ball 1.
But good to see him be productive in this 9-hole. And it feels like the 8 and 9 hole especially have been so fruitful for the Saints squad in the past week or so.
Swing off the end of the bat for Watson, ground out to third. So 2 quick outs here for Nathan Hoy. Bring up the top of the order, and Jacob Shart, who belted a no-doubt 3-run homer. We saw his first home run here in Pasadena, the bat flip that he had. I mean, we could have seen that, like, kind of that Nick Castellanos moment if anyone saw that, where he was taking off his equipment before even stepping on first. Without the pole that he hit, who knows? Shart was in a little bit of a rut coming into tonight. 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a 3-run homer.
I think Jacob Shart just needs me to be the color commentator. I think that's just what it is. Because last time I was on color for the game in Compton, I mean, he went 4 for 5 with 2 triples, 2 doubles. Tonight he's 3 for 3 with a home run. I mean, yeah, so I guess that's the recipe.
Doctor's order. It's the 2-0 held up for ball 3. Third base umpire says he didn't go.
It's kind of funny because in Compton he was, a single and a home run short of the cycle, and tonight he's a double and triple short of the cycle. Not that that really means anything or matters, but 3-0 count, trying to find another way to get on base.
Is that pitch in there for strike 1? Jacob Shart has just done wonders at the top of this line. And once he got on that really hot streak about 2 weeks ago, he's just glued himself in as he holds off on ball 4. Second walk issued by Nathan Hoy this season. First of the game. We'll bring up Cam Conley, who David and I talked to last night. How Justin Bieber's his walk-up song and just the energy it brings him. Currently working with Boyfriend. One for 3 with an RBI single that found a spot in second base with a hit-and-run action by the Saints. Looking in his last at-bat. See, swings at the first pitch. That one popped up. Jack Hammond on that, as well as the catcher and Brendan Wilkinson just unable.
Yeah, he just overran it is what happened. He was conscientious of his first baseman in Hammond coming over. He was aware of the dugout and the fence kind of that protects the dugout, and he just overran where the ball was. He saw the ball the spot of extra life for Conley, who's searching for his second hit of the day. That RBI single in his second plate appearance.
So Conley behind the count, 0-1 in Wilking to steal. Cam Conley grounds out to first. No damage dealt. Head to the top of the 7th inning. The score continuing to remain the same, 9-1 here in Pasadena. All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it will score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling on the mound. Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Carrillo did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the 9th for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
Leading things off in the top of the 7th inning, Michael Diaz will be 1-2-3 as we'll be joined by number 23 Tyler Gordon here in our broadcast booth. As Andrew Wright still on the mound for his 3rd inning, quickly ahead of the count, 0-2. And speak of the devil, here's Tyler Gordon. Tyler, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well, doing well. So first question I want to ask is, obviously last night was not the game that we would have liked to have had, a 14-1 loss. But what's the message like? What was the message like coming into tonight and you see like opposite end where now it's 9-1 Saints?
Yeah, baseball's a funny game. You can play great on one day and then, another day it'll be something different. So you just got to keep the same mentality that, you always want to win. And, last night wasn't our night, obviously, but it's such a quick game, and you got to just move on to the next day, and that's what we did.
And obviously got a little banged up earlier this week, I guess, or maybe it was last week, Thousand Oaks. It feels like you've been in and out of the lineup. Obviously tough to get a rhythm. How's it been like in terms of your offensive mentality at the plate, defensive too? Just trying to get into a swing of things, but you haven't necessarily been playing a ton of games and kind of been in and out of things.
Yeah, definitely I've been getting kind of unlucky. I've just been trying to just keep the same focus I've had all season during the spring, and that's just, just take it pitch by pitch and at bat by at bat. But I trust my work, and I know that even though I haven't been really getting that many reps until, lately, I still have trust in myself that, my approach will be the same, and especially with fielding, just going and getting the ball and just making the routine play.
Noticed you're in the transfer portal. Obviously, you started a 53 of 54 games at Miami of Ohio. Anywhere that you're looking at, or anything that you're looking at specifically in terms of just finding another opportunity?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find what's best for me in my baseball career. I mean, obviously I like to come back home. I've been talking to a couple coaches, and the big thing that we talked about was, it's pretty cool to see your parents in the stands knowing that they're sitting right behind the dugout or wherever they are, and that was one thing that I kind of missed out a little bit on this year in Ohio. I mean, it's not just a solo flight there, you got to take a layover somewhere else, and then you get to Ohio. So, but no, just trying to find the best opportunity for myself.
You looking? Maybe we saw your teammate Alex Burge go to Berkeley. Is that maybe potential? We see a few guys here on the Berkeley squad.
Yeah.
Kind of be in your area.
Yeah, just anywhere around like Orange County, like Long Beach State would be cool. I don't know, Cal State Fullerton, just to name a few. That would be pretty sweet. So.
And we came in Cal Lutheran. Was it your throwing hand that got hurt? We saw you dive for the ball at third. Almost put a nice play on it as well.
Yeah.
And then when we saw you didn't get up, we were like, oh, wait, this is a little bit more serious.
Yeah, so unfortunately, like the ball was kind of a hard hit line drive, ground ball down the line, and I dove, and it got my inside of my thumb, and so we went to the doctor to get x-rays and everything, and he said that's a pretty bad bone bruise, so. And, like, those are usually worse than other things because, I mean, like, right now I'm still feeling a little, tenderness, I guess you could say, but. I mean, I should be good to go in like the next day or two, so playing every day again.
Because to your point, it's an injury where you can only wait for it to heal.
Oh,
There's no real treatment you can do. It's just a matter of when it feels good again.
Exactly, yeah. And like I was fighting it a little bit yesterday, but I was so eager to play. I just wanted to get back on the field again, so yeah.
I mean, something that we've talked about, and kind of the mentality from the Saints offense, doesn't matter who's batting 1 through 9, doesn't matter if you're in the 7-hole, 8 or 9-hole, and you've been in the 9-hole a lot. But in terms of getting guys in the 9-hole, in the 8-hole, to be super productive, I mean, it wasn't last game, but a couple games ago against the Barons, you had Crew McChesney and Easton Elliott putting up 8 RBIs. You've been in the 9-hole a ton. What's your mentality in that spot, knowing that you've got the top lineup coming up? You just kind of have to set the table in a way.
Yeah, no, I think that a perfect example is me, Crew, and Easton. We know that we're not going to hit many home runs or doubles. We're just trying to get on base so we can set the tone for the other guys to be able to just get us in. And if that's just a single or a walk or a reach on air, whatever it is, and then steal second, get in the scoring position, then it's so much easier for Shart or whoever else that's coming up to be able to score us. So, no, yeah, for sure.
It's funny because Peter, after he got hit on the elbow, he said he was ready to go the next day. So who's the security guard that's holding you guys back from getting into the lineup?
Yeah, I mean, that would probably be Sally, our trainer. But she does a great job, just getting us ready and keeping us healthy for the season that's upcoming for college. I mean, we don't want to really hurt ourselves during summer ball, but we all want to be in the game and be playing every day. But it's just kind of unfortunate sometimes. But no, for sure, she helps out a lot, and she does a great job with what she does.
After the pair of home runs from Alex Burge, anything in the dugout, any vibes in the dugout? I mean, he had the one to right field, and he had the one to left field. I mean, even I didn't know he had that kind of power towards that opposite field of the ballpark. I mean, it's 374 out there to left. It's kind of weird that you've got shallower to right than left. But, I mean, what was the dugout like? What was the vibe there?
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty excited for Birdie. It's pretty nice that, his girlfriend's also in town too, so maybe that's one thing, But, no, yesterday he was actually working a lot with Milam on just trying to just stay through the ball. And, I mean, it definitely paid off today for sure. I mean, with 2 home runs, especially the one to Oppo. I mean, we all thought that wasn't getting out for sure, and it goes over the fence. That was pretty cool.
So with the girl in town, any chirps as he's in the dugout?
Nah, I think that they're just giving him a little bit of a hard time, but, I mean, she's definitely helping for sure. So, yeah, that's pretty cool.
So has Milam opened up a room for her to be for the rest of the season?
I know, yeah, really, yeah. She needs to be here all the time. I mean, I just missed that.
Burge, upset, pops that one up, heads up. That one's out of play, but Alex Burge coming into tonight had a .625 on base percentage, 10 walks, 3 strikeouts in 8 games. Have you ever seen usually catchers, if you could get a .250 average out of them, that's phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Alex Burge was batting .368. The number will obviously increase, but
yeah,
is it just a luxury being able to have a catcher that nukes balls like a right fielder?
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, he's such a great hitter, and he's always on time to every pitch. I just feel like that, his mentality is always the same. And same with Lazara as well. Both of our catchers are really good. And I noticed that, something that I didn't really have this year was, these 2 catchers both have really strong arms. I mean, it's a laser down to second base. And I was like, every time they throw, I'd be like, man, my glove just popped. And, that was pretty good. I tell them that every day. I'm like, you guys got great arms. If you just put it on the money, the guy's out.
Yeah, it was the IQ from Burge that got Hackworth out at first. And Burge has tried that numerous times.
Yeah.
Obviously, that time it worked, but just incredible stuff. And we see this team. We've struggled a little bit. The roller coaster so far, 5-6 in the last 11 after going 3-0. Is there like a coaches meeting or a team meeting that goes on just to be like, all right, guys, like we're now a third of the season in. We're obviously not going to be super through 36 games. Everyone goes through a rut. Is there just a way that you're battling adversity, conversations like that?
Yeah, I think that Coach Milam kind of hit it on the head today, that it's just baseball, kind of like I said before, it's an ever-changing game, like one day, you guys, we could get killed 14-1 just like yesterday, and then now we could be up 9-1, and that ball's killed.
That one off the top of the wall. Livingston will head into second. Nice throw on the play from Matthew Thomas. So it'll be a single for Livingston, but gunned out at second. Livingston was a triple shy of the cycle last night.
Just so unfortunate. I mean, that ball was crushed. I had a chance to go just off the top of the wall, and you get gunned out at second. But that's the way baseball is sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, any other questions you have? I know we've kept you a little bit. I'm just going to ask maybe what you're talking about family, just the importance of having family close by with you at these games. How much of a confidence boost does that give you at the plate and on the field?
Yeah, definitely. When I was at Vanguard my freshman year, my dad and mom and my grandparents as well, they would try and make every game, and so that was pretty huge for me. And I think that was something that I missed out a little bit on when I was at Miami, which wasn't a big deal, but at the same time, I see all my teammates' parents there, and it's like, well, my parent will be here in a month or something like that, But no, it's definitely big for me. I'm super close with them, staying at home, driving up here, and it's definitely helped a lot with my dad, especially being there with me. He can talk to me about a lot of things, especially with baseball. He knows his stuff, and I mean, he's coached me my whole life, and if I have a bad at bat or something, he'll definitely help me and say like, you weren't on time or whatever. But no, it's definitely been great for sure.
And you don't need to deal with the Midwest winters, too.
No, not anymore. Hopefully not. Knock on wood, yeah.
Absolutely horrible. I go to school up in Chicago, and we had 2 straight weeks of -30.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure it was probably similar down there.
Yeah, no. I think the wind chill was the worst part because, you would say it would be 32 degrees outside, but the feels like it's like 18 or 14, something crazy like that, So.
Yeah, we're all in cold climates. I'm in Toronto, so coming down here.
Oh, yeah, definitely,
coming
yeah.
down here.
Oh, yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah, for a nice bit of sun. But to your point, I mean, like just being away from family, it can be hard. And now that you're hoping to at least remain here, are you planning on living at home for the season, or is it kind of just dependent on where?
I probably live in the apartment or something. My dad and mom think it's best that I experience the college life still a little bit, and that was something that they missed out on. They both went to Cal State Fullerton. They commuted from home, and so they didn't get to do that, and so they really believe that it's a big thing, a part of college for something that I don't miss out on, I think that it also helps since I'd be with my teammates all the time, and that's something that, is really huge for a college baseball team to have success.
Is there anything specific that you're trying to work on this summer in terms of hitting, defense, anything that you're trying to implement into your game, or is there anything you've learned from any of your teammates?
Yeah, I've definitely been trying to put on a little weight just so I can at least hit a couple more doubles and stuff like that, and then definitely my base running. I was kind of limited this year on stolen bases until the end of the season, and so my goal was to try and steal 20 bases this summer, which is a big goal of mine. I really want that to happen, so that'd be pretty cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, you stole 15 bags in your Rookie of the Year. You didn't even mention that you won a freaking award at Vanguard University. I guess you just wanted to throw that under the rug.
Yeah.
Batting .345, like video game numbers.
Yeah.
With the stolen bases. But I guess, hey, humble man over here.
Yeah. No, that was a really good season. I had a great year, and I had a lot of fun playing at Vanguard. It's just, I think I needed to try and challenge myself a little more if I wanted to get to the next level, which obviously everyone who's playing summer ball wants to become a professional baseball player. I think that Division I was the best route for me. So,
well, thank you so much for your time. I'm really excited to see you continue doing that on the field for the Saints and wherever you end up in the transfer portal.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it'll score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score two. It's quickly 4-0 top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound, and Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Carrillo did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the ninth for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
Top of the 8th inning here in Pasadena. New pitcher on the mound for the Saints. It's number 50, Ahmad Harajli. I'm sorry.
Eli Hernandez.
I mixed that up. I apologize. Eli Hernandez.
We were just talking about Ahmad
We were just
Harajli.
talking about Ahmad Harajli, so I got the names mixed up.
All good things, though. Just that he's teammates with Tyler Gordon at Miami of Ohio. I guess not teammates anymore, as Tyler's in the transfer portal. Really fun conversation with Tyler, just talking about family, baseball, transfer portal, all good things. Hopefully he gets back onto the field and feeling a little bit better. Just with that injury, that bone bruise that he sustained against the Conejo Oaks. But he's just such a talented hitter. And I mean, some sounds like Southern Californian team is going to strike gold in the transfer portal with a guy that can really bat for contact, throw in a couple extra doubles in there too, and steal some bags too.
Matt Spear, the designated hitter tonight, batting for the 4th time. 1 for 2 with an RBI single, a walk, and a strikeout. As it's Eli Hernandez on the mound. Burge takes off the mask, looking for the pop-up. That one out of play. Look out. So Hernandez from Emporia State University. 5 innings of work so far, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, a 1.80 ERA. Was previously at Western Nebraska Community College in the 2022-2023 seasons. As the 2-2 offering on the way. That one, strike 3 looking. And how about back-to-back at-bats for Matt Spear going down via the strikeout?
I mean, how about that pitch from Eli Hernandez, though, going outside on that pitch and just completely fooling Spear, just spearing him there. Back-to-back case for Spear, you mentioned, and Brendan Wilkinson now in the 5-hole, getting his 4th opportunity tonight.
Wilkinson, the backstop for tonight. Fly out, struck out on a foul tip, and had that really nicely placed bunt down the third base line. Is that first pitch in there for strike 1. So now 1 for his last 17. Finally getting that hit. We see a lot of times in hockey, just 1 goal gets you back into the groove of things. Wilkinson obviously hoping for the same, as his batting average has now dipped to 214 coming into tonight. As he swings through that one for strike 2.
Would this be the hockey equivalent of like a Zach Hyman backdoor tap-in, like from Connor McDavid, or is like that? I feel like that's probably it.
I feel like the bunt single, yeah. I think that's a good comparison.
Little power play shiv with the stick underneath the goalie's pad or something like that.
Wilkinson down 0-2. One of the best defensive catchers. Didn't commit an error in 53 chances. back in 2023, where he played in 16 games at Cal State Northridge. From Long Beach, California, Cypress High School as well.
His dad was a catcher at Long Beach State. Got some baseball in his blood.
It's the 1-2 slap towards the shortstop. Lopez unable to corral that one. So Wilkinson will advance to first on the error.
Just continuing to have tough, challenging plays there at shortstop. It's bounces. That one not routine. That one maybe a little bit of miscommunication between Easton Elliott and Adrian Lopez that kind of called off each other, and then Lopez attacked the ball late. But some of these plays eventually have to be made for outs because, especially late in the season, as the season continues on, those just have to be routine if you want to win close, high competitive CCL battles.
So I'll bring up Jack Hammond for the fourth time tonight, who also reached to first on an error, struck out swinging in a fly out. First pitch in there for a strike, and Hernandez has really gotten ahead of hitters in this one.
Yeah, he's looked really good throwing first pitch strikes. I mean, that's what he does, and when he's at his best, he's peppering the zone, he's attacking with that fastball, allows everything to work off of it.
9-1 here in the top of the 8th inning. Saints with the lead as Hernandez flings in strike 2. It's now 0-2, with 1 out. Saints 9 runs on 11 hits. Riptide 1 run on 6 hits. Walked a couple of times in this one. As Hernandez ahead of the count, 0-2. Wilkinson dancing over there at first, trying to paint the outside corner. Hammond held up for ball 1. Hernandez already 1 strikeout in the inning. Mentioned a very nice ERA sitting at 1.80. As he checks back on the runner at first, will fling in a pitch for ball 2. So Hammond works the count back to 2-2 now.
Yeah, you just love if Eli Hernandez could spin a double play ball here, something of the sorts of what we saw from Parker earlier in the game. Andrew Parker, we mentioned it's one of the best best pitchers coming into this one in the CCL so far this season as Hernandez whizzes that one outside. But double play ball, you get out of the inning, move on to the bottom of the 8th. It's not that easy, though.
So the count runs full for Hammond, who coming into tonight was batting .385, was 2 for 3 last night. Hernandez, with a light check on the runner, will fire the 3-2. That one down low, take your base. So now runners on first and second with 1 out. As Hernandez was ahead of the count, 0-2. Credit to Hammond. Laid off some pitches, got the walk. It will now bring up Nathan Cadena.
And this is a continuation of, I feel like, what we've mentioned in terms of the pitching in the past week and a half for the Saints. But it's been the walks, it's been the errors, it's been the defensive miscues that have extended innings, and it's made pitchers have to throw 4 or 5 outs in an inning.
First pitch fouled off. Cadena 1 for 3 tonight with a pop-up ground out and a single to center field that just got over the glove, or past the glove rather, of Adrian Lopez. Talk about family bloodlines. Nathan's father, drafted by the Yankees back in '96. So that went in there for strike 2. So Hernandez, last 2 hitters behind 0-2 quickly. Just trying to get that all-important 3rd strike. Saints up big here in the top of the 8th inning, leading this one 9-1. Runners on first and second, as that one is connected on into center field. Jacob Shart will make the play, so runners will have to head back to second and first. Nice piece of hitting.
How about Jacob Shart just scooting over to his right to grab that one? That ball was belted off the bat of Cadena, but nice read from Shart in center, who, we've seen him play left, we've seen him play right, we've seen him kind of be everywhere in this lineup, but his bat has kept him in the lineup, and we've seen him DH too, but McChesney not in the lineup tonight, and Shart gets the call at center field. Doesn't quite have the same athleticism out there as a guy like McChesney, but is still such an adept outfielder in terms of reading the ball off the bat. Does a really nice job with that play.
Starts another batter off. I believe that's now 5 straight batters that Hernandez has faced first pitch strike with Matthew Thomas now up 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a hit by pitch. Now brings that total to 16 strikeouts and 33 at-bats for him. Is that one outside for ball 1. Hernandez dealing with some traffic on the base path. Runners on first and second. 2 outs here. As the 1-1 offering, that one down low. Burge held on to it. Count goes to 2-1.
Yeah, Thomas striking out in 40% of his plate appearances. Just doing the quick math there. But, he's really been susceptible to the K, and it's been tough. I mean, that's why he's in the bottom half of the lineup. We saw him earlier this season, the opener, batting in the top half, because he has that ability to power the baseball. That time fouled straight back right at us. No flinch there? Flinch? No?
Seasoned vet.
Semi-flinch? Yeah, because you've had your many afternoons of.
I'm like that grandma at the Blue Jays game who just doesn't flinch at every.
Oh, that's good. Well, does she pay attention to the game? I feel like sometimes the camera cuts to her where she's not actually looking at it.
Thomas held up. Count runs full, 3-2. We talk about the struggles for Matthew Thomas. First season at Berkeley, 154 on base percentage. Did have 4 home runs, 10 RBIs, but still just trying to find his groove of things. As that one swung on and missed for strike 3. So Hernandez, 2 strikeouts and a walk in the top of the 8th inning. Head to the bottom of the half. The score still remaining the same, 9-1 here in Pasadena. Welcome you to the bottom of the 8th inning. New pitcher on the mound for the Riptide, number 33, Cone Thomas from Santa Barbara City College in Carlsbad, California. In for his 5th appearance of the season, 5 2/3 innings pitched so far, working with an ERA just above 6. It's Easton Elliott up, takes a first pitch in there for strike 1. So it'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Saints. Elliott 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts and a walk. As that one way inside nearly hit him for ball 1.
How about a 9-game on-base streak in appearances with a plate appearance for Elliott? That one game where didn't have a plate appearance was against the Foresters in Santa Barbara, where he was a pinch hitter for Alex Burge in the 9th.
And you heard the dugout saying, gotta wear it, telling Easton Elliott, just take that one, get on base, improve the on-base percentage. Saw 2 walks from Elliott last night, 1 for 2. The batting average has increased to .346 with 9 RBIs and a .438 on-base percentage, and just finds himself controlling in that bottom half of the lineup as that one is smacked through the infield. Oh, a nice play on the recovery. And that one was by Patrick Hackworth to keep that one in the infield.
That'll probably be an infield single there. It was a pretty hard hit. Tough play for Hackworth to make. And
shouldn't be ruled an error.
Is that potentially another walk-up song for Adrian Lopez? Nope,
No,
same one.
one.
It just started earlier.
Yeah.
Good song, though.
Yeah.
I think at some point we got to make up power rankings for all these walk-up songs.
Stay tuned for the power rankings.
Yeah, it'll be a segment. Get it going at some point in the season. You guys should let us know other segments you want.
It's that first pitch outside for ball 1. And talked about how some guys just find any which way to get out of a slump. And for Adrian Lopez, it's new walk-up song. Was talking with the person doing our music for tonight and just said, hey, look, I need a little bit of a change here. Need a new walk-up song.
Yep. And that's how it is sometimes. I mean, it's really that much of a, superstitions are real. I think that's got to be one of the Saints say what's. What's your pregame superstition? Like, what do you do?
Yeah. As Elliott goes, pitch low and inside for ball 2, so Elliott steals another bag.
And for those of you that don't know, the Saints say what? I want to say it's on Instagram and TikTok. But before every home game, we'll do a little minute, maybe 45-second to a minute, real TikTok, little video content of the question of the day. And sometimes they're really, really fun. So you should definitely tune into our Instagram and TikTok at Arroyo Seco Saints. Tune in. It's always good content on there.
Lopez takes that one inside. Very favorable 3-1 count. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Saints have been held off the board for Lopez. That one's just slapped foul. 3 innings scoreless after putting up 9 runs through 4 innings.
Well, I'm sure their backs might feel a little heavy after, slapping 4 balls out of the ballpark. You can only do so much offense. But at the end of the day, hey, this Riptide team with 2 outs yesterday in the 8th inning, they put some more on the scoreboard, didn't they?
They put up an 8 spot. It's a 3-2. That one way inside, nearly hit Lopez. So he'll get on base with the walk. And Cone Thomas has allowed the first 2 batters of the inning to get on base, set the table for Eli Watson, who's singled, hit by pitch, and a ground out. So working on a 1 for 2 day.
And that'll be good for the batting average. It was trickling. It's one of the lowest on the team. And sure, he only had 1 hit coming into tonight, but picked up his 2nd hit of the season in this one. And he's found ways to get on base in 2 of his 3 plate appearances.
Both runners go, double steal. Elliott gunned out at third. What a beautiful piece of throwing from Brendan Wilkinson. We talked about how he's just one of the most dangerous catchers behind the plate. Elliott, back-to-back games, caught stealing.
Yeah, just a missile to third base. And typically you won't necessarily see, that catcher try and gun.
It's a single up the middle by Watson. That'll be an RBI, bobbled on the throw, and Watson into second with a double. That was Michael Diaz out in center who was unable to corral the ground ball, and if no double steal, we might be having 2 runs in. Nonetheless, is that the first extra base hit for Watson?
Let's look at the stats. It sure is. But it's going to be a single.
It's going to be ruled a single and then an error
That
by
allowed.
the center fielder. But nonetheless, Eli Watson picks up his second hit, third RBI of the season.
There you go, Eli. Have yourself a little afternoon. Evening now. Early evening. That's still late evening. I don't know. 8:35, is that considered early evening, late evening?
Lady, here.
Mid-evening?
Mid-evening. Brings up the top of the order now with Jacob Schart, who has reached base in all 4 plate appearances. Pitch on the outer half for strike 2. Schart, a single that got past a diving Patrick Hackworth. Had another single into left field. Tattooed a 3-run homer to right field. That was a no-doubter off the bat, and then walked in his last at-bat. So a .458 batting average is looking to increase. It's the 0-2. That one swung on and missed for strike 3. First strikeout of the evening for Cone Thomas.
And you live with the strikeouts for Jacob Schart just because they're so rare. I mean, coming in today, 13.6% of his plate appearances ending in a strikeout. Just this guy doesn't really strike out that much, puts the ball in play most of the time, only walks 10% of the times too. So, I mean, outside of that, he's just hitting the ball and making the defense have to work. That's why he's at the top of the lineup. Just a guy who can bring contact, can bring a little power, but also if your leadoff hitter can, on one pitch, at the beginning of the game, can take a ball out of the park, it really gives the pitcher something to think about. Really gets them off the, off-kiltered from the start. And, clearly today that was part of what was going right for the Saints squad.
As Conley held up on that check swing. Conley was ground out to first base in his last at-bat. It's the 1-1. That one is connected on into right field. That will find a home out in deep right. So Watson will come home easily. And how about a RBI double for Cam Conley? 2 RBIs on the night.
Yeah, about 13 RBIs on the season. Him and Jacob Schart jousting for position at the top of the Saints RBI total. And Schart's got 15 after the 3-run shot earlier in this game. But Conley not far behind now, up to 13.
Bring up Alex Burge, who uncharacteristic night for him. I mean, 2 home in both ways. 2 home runs, also 2 strikeouts. Came into tonight with just 3 strikeouts on the season. And not only that, both strikeouts looking.
I mean, he was only striking out in 12.5% of his plate appearances coming into tonight, walking in 34.4%, almost 3 times as likely to walk than strike out.
That one slapped foul.
But, yeah, I mean, have to wonder if he realized he had that power to left field, too. I mean, that ball didn't even seem smoked off the bat. It seemed like yes, there was power. It was probably going to be a double, but it just kept carrying. And, I mean, maybe there was just something in the air tonight, but felt like we saw so many baseballs just continue to carry, something that we haven't seen earlier in this year. Maybe as it starts to get warmer in June, especially warmer later in days, we'll see a few more home runs, especially towards the end of the season.
Burge held up on that swing, so the count now 2-1. The lead now double digits, and can you say deja vu? Saints up 11-1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. As Cone Thomas missiles one in there for a strike. Count evened up at 2.
So Evan, here's the thing: deja vu. That's an Olivia Rodrigo song. It was Taylor Swift night last night, so a little bit different artist, but same genre.
Forgot about Taylor Swift night. All the OC Riptide players were asked to switch their walk-up songs to something Taylor Swift related. My sources tell me some of them were forced into it, but nonetheless.
Keep the sources under wraps. Anonymous sources.
They also had a strikeout beer night where if Joey Donnelly, for every strikeout, it's $1 off beer.
But just for Joey Donnelly?
Just for Joey Donnelly. He was the lucky contestant as Burge grounds out to short. So it's at the top of the 9th inning here in Pasadena. The Saints leading this one 11-1, putting up 2 runs here in the bottom half.
3, 1, 2, 3, bang!
Top of the 9th inning here in Pasadena. Elijah Hernandez gets the ball for one final inning as the 9-1-2 hitters due up. Saints responding well after a 14-1 beatdown last night in Irvine and giving the Riptide a taste of their own medicine, up double digits. Rocco Gump leading things off. 1 for 3 tonight, pair of groundouts and a single to left field. From Chandler, Arizona. Kind of plays all over, but we mainly see him patrol that third base spot. First pitch outside for ball 1.
I mean, he was a Southland Conference All-Defensive Team third baseman in 2024, and, you know, tied for the team lead in RBIs coming into tonight, tied for the third in RBIs in the CCL too.
Count even at 1.
Don't typically see a guy of his caliber in terms of how hot that bat can be sometimes, batting the 9-hole, but it's just the way that CCL lineups are constructed sometimes. And, you know, every night it's going to be a little different. Every night it's going to be a little funky. And tonight it's Rocco Gump in the 9-hole.
Rocco Gump lays off the pitch outside for ball 2. Saints will be back here tomorrow night, another home game. So, you know, that traditional 6:05 start. As that one connected on into right field, that'll drop down for a base hit. So Rocco Gump 2 for 4.
How about 2 groundouts to second base, a single to left and a single to right? Pretty symmetrical.
Before I was rudely interrupted by Rocco Gump, the Pirates are coming to town.
The Pittsburgh Pirates?
The Pittsburgh Pirates are coming to town. No,
Ventura County Pirates tomorrow night.
I kid. Brennan would love that. One of our data analytics guys, a huge Pittsburgh fan.
Paul Skeens versus the Saints. Skeens versus the Saints.
That one would make headlines. It's that first pitch in there for strike 1.
Who's hitting a home run off Paul Skeens?
Well, it seems like it's always going to be a leadoff home run, so I guess we got to put money on Jacob Shart. Skeens allowed just 1 earned run tonight. First batter. That was it. Is that pitch outside for ball 1? Michael Diaz up for the 5th time tonight. Just not a great night for Diaz, who was really solid last night at home. 0 for 4 tonight. Came into tonight with a .391 on-base percentage. Huge reason why he's leading things off for the Riptide, setting the table. Is that pitch just a bit low for ball 2?
This is a really big performance by the Saints squad, especially after last night where they lost by 13 runs. They needed some sort of way to reset, right? And it's all about winning the week. It's something Cam Conley talked about yesterday when you guys talked to him. But Coach Milam really preaches winning the week, taking game by game, trying to, you know, go 3-2 in a week. If you do that every single week, you're going to be in a good spot. Saints just haven't really been able to, you know, go 4-1 or 5-0 in weeks. And you know what? That's not necessarily going to happen. But it's taking it game by game after a tough game, coming back, bouncing back, and having a good one. And tonight's been good so far.
Quick check over to first. Rocco Gump gets back in safely. Diaz working a 2-2 count, striking out twice already in the game. As that one is connected on back into right field. Gump will advance to third easily, as putting on the Jets is Diaz. He'll get in there with a double.
Yeah, but sliding in, had to really go for it. That ball had a little bit more zip than Bermudez probably thought, and it got into a pretty deep right field, allowed for the double. So runners on second and third for Hernandez to deal with, and that's going to be tough. But it's good that the Saints have 5, or I guess 10 runs. I don't know why I said 5. 10 runs to work with here.
A little bit of trouble here for Hernandez. Runners on second and third. Nobody out for Patrick Hackworth, who's infield hit, single to left, caught in a pickle, and was also caught off first as well.
And now with runners on second and third, you don't even have the double play ball as a real potential. So 1-1 the count to Hackworth. He's got hit by a pitch in his third plate appearance, singled in his first two, grounded out to second base in his last one. 11-1 the score here in Pasadena, ninth inning. This one's bounced right off Hernandez. Won't score a run, but it will load the bases. So Hernandez takes a little heat off his leg. No run score. So how about 3 singles for Hackworth, just hacking his way on base any way he can. That'll bring Jake Brown up, who's struck out in his past 2 plate appearances. They're going to check on Hernandez on the bump. Just make sure everything's okay. I'll probably get a pitch here, maybe a couple, just to make sure that everything's fine. Brown, dangerous hitter. He's got 2 home runs on the year, 7 RBIs. Leads the Riptide in homers, tied for second in the CCL with 2 blasts, and he's got the bases loaded here with no outs in the ninth. It's definitely one way to cut back into this 10-run deficit that the Riptide face. Saints will be back in action tomorrow, 6:05 against the Ventura County Pirates. Sadly, no Paul Skeens, though. Hernandez starts Brown off with a strike. 6'2" senior at Cal Baptist swings through another one for strike 2. Quickly, no balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded, no outs. 11-1 the score in the top of the ninth. Hernandez searching for the first out, hurls the 0-2. This one pummeled right back up the middle. It'll knock in for a hit. 1 run will score. 11-2 here in Pasadena. Thought for a second it might have been extra bases, but nice job by Jacob Sharp to cut off the angle. So 1 RBI, an RBI single for Jake Brown. Still, bases loaded, no outs, 11-2, the only difference. Matt Spear trying to spear the Riptide back into this ball game. It's 1 swing of the bat could put a massive dent in the lead. It's still 9 runs, though, so Hernandez has some room to work with. But really feels like the Saints have not been able to finish off innings or finish off games in this past under 500 stretch, where they're 5-6 in the last 11. Went 3-0 to start the season off. We're one of the hottest teams in the CCL out of the gates, and then stumbled into some unsteady waters in the last little bit or so. Ball high from Hernandez. It was Brown with a single up the middle to score and Gump from third.
Talk about the Saints getting back into the groove of things. Trying to get a steady path going here. Hernandez getting into a bit of trouble. Bases loaded.
Quickly 3 balls, no strikes, too, after Hernandez, we had mentioned, was doing so well in terms of first pitch strikes and really throwing a lot of strikes peppering the zone.
Ball 4. So runners advance 90 feet. Still nobody out here. Top of the ninth inning. The score now 11-3. A mound visit pending between Alex Burge and Eli Hernandez. Bring up Brendan Wilkinson. Just a quick little visit between the two of them. Base is still loaded here. Nobody out. As the fireworks go off.
And as you would say, I hope those are fireworks.
I think those are this time.
Yeah, definitely.
We got the Rose Bowl right behind us. Swing and a miss on the first pitch that Wilkinson sees.
Wilkinson already has 1 home run this season. That not grand slam, but had that blast earlier in the season against the Oaks to start things off with a bang for the Riptide in their first game of the season.
As Wilkinson swings through that one for strike 2. You see Hernandez really working the off speed outside.
Yeah, and if that's what he can throw for strikes, he's going to continue to do it. Struggled to find the zone here. That's why the bases are loaded. He's left a couple stuff over the plate. It's allowed for some extra base hits. Then the walk to load things up.
So Hernandez getting hit around a little bit in this inning. As Wilkinson lays off that one, so the count now 1-2.
Fireworks still going.
Yeah, fireworks continue throughout this inning as that one is sent to shortstop. Easy play over at second for the force out. Ball gets past Donnie. Looks like it hit Wilkinson. Wilkinson took that one right off his left leg. Sorry, his left thigh. So a runner comes in to score as it's runners at the corners, 11-4 now. But just a scary moment.
Yeah, it's a tough one to take. That one's going to hurt. Some chirps from the Saints dugout. Don't know exactly. I think what they wanted is he was hit in terms of stopping Donnelly from making a play at the bag to make a catch there.
So things continue to get interesting here in the top of the 9th inning. Just one out. The force out from Brendan Wilkinson brings up Jack Hammond. First pitch nearly hits him for ball 1. Hernandez came into tonight with a 1.80 batting or ERA. As that one gets past Burge with no runners advancing. Hammond is 0 for 3 tonight with a walk, fly out, strikeout. Made it to first in his first at-bat via the error from the shortstop, Adrian Lopez. Hernandez trying to get out of this. Fires that one in there, gets the call for strike 1. That's Wilkinson over there at first. Still staying in the game, fouled back. Count now 2-2. Patrick Hackworth over there at third. With Nathan Cadena in the on-deck circle. The 2-2 from Hernandez. That one sent foul right into the Riptide dugout. So we'll do it again, 2-2. Hernandez battling in this at-bat. Fires the 2-2 in there for strike 3. Hammond knew it right away. So another strikeout for Hernandez and another strikeout for Hammond. So Nathan Cadena, potentially the final out.
How big would this be for the Saints? You know, you dealt with a little bit of damage in the end of the game, right? Got through it, you move on, pick up a win. And, I mean, this CCL South division is so tight right now. Saints currently in 4th place with the Riptide a game in front. This would tie things up between these two squads. And Saints have played the Riptide well this year outside of yesterday's game. They'll move to 3-1 if they can close things out. With just an out left.
First pitch in there for strike 1. Second pitch just on the outer half. So 1-1, 2 outs here, top of the 9th inning. Runners still remain on first and third. That's Wilkinson and Hackworth. Saints looking for what feels like a must-needed victory, as that one is in there for strike 2. You take a look at the CCL South Division standings. The Riptide 10-6, Arroyo Seco Saints 8-6. Saints looking for their 9th win of the season. One strike away from it is that one. Sent to the right fielder, Ray Bermudez, on to make the catch, and that'll do it for this one here in Pasadena. Saints put up an 11 spot, win this one 11-4. A little bit of damage done in the top of the 9th inning, but not enough to take the loss. The Saints improved to 9-6 on the season. The Riptide fall to 10-7.
Yeah, just big win. You needed to keep pace in the CCL South. It's been really tough sledding. The Saints will move to 6-6 in their last 12. They're 9-6 overall after that 3-0 start, but it's been mediocre play since. And this was a big one to get back in the win column. You need to get back into that winning feeling. And a lot of these CCL South teams, they're on big win streaks right now. You got the Conejo Oaks, 5-game win streak. The Santa Barbara Foresters are on a 4-game win streak. This Orange County Riptide coming into tonight had won, I think, 7 of 10. We're really hot, too. I mean, there's a lot of hot teams in this division right now. The Saints just started the season off hot. They've cooled off. They need to get back into that winning feeling. They picked it up tonight with a big 11-4 final.
So that'll do it. The Saints, just an incredible piece of offense. Obviously, started off the game down 1-0. Alex Burge, Joey Donnelly connecting on some home runs. Josh Livingston and Alex Burge connecting on some home runs as Saints, we see them getting back into their offensive ways. Had struggled a bit these last few games during their losing streak, and they'll have a date tomorrow night back here at Jackie Robinson Field, take on the Ventura County Pirates, and what feels like another must-needed win just to continue on the streak. But Adam, any final thoughts, or are we going to send this one off?
Just how about the power, right? You got the 2 home runs from Burge, Jacob Sharp hitting another one, Josh Livingston hitting one. It's just infectious what this Saints offense was able to do. It's just a big show of power, especially after only putting up 1 run on the board yesterday, which also came by a home run. So how about 5 home runs by this squad in the last 2 games? Some good stuff from the Saints offense.
So officially put a bow on it. From Jackie Robinson Field, our producer David Matamoros, our color commentator Adam Beck. I'm Evan Davis signing off. The Saints with a big win here